My name is David Harrison Grice. Welcome to the Grice Report, your unfiltered daily voice for truth. Tonight, I want to kind of dive into everything that really happened overnight in the San Francisco Bay Area. So, as you know, the ICE Gestapo were supposed to be rolling into San Francisco en masse. About 100 troops were supposed to be rolling in over the next couple of days. Trump and the mayor of San Francisco had a phone call, which basically resulted in the troops not going to San Francisco. However, all they mentioned was San Francisco. They did not mention the rest of the Bay Area. And the Bay Area is quite large, and there's a big section of the population of California that could be impacted by this. So they were protesting out there, same way that they did on Oak Kings, same way that they're doing in Broadview and Portland, everywhere else that's rising up against the ICE Gestapo. They were out there protesting peacefully. Suddenly, a U-Haul box truck starts driving erratically and backing up towards the gates. And the way that this unfolded was pretty strange because, to me, it felt staged. So we're going to watch how that all unfolded, and then I can explain to you why I feel like it's staged. All right, so first things first. We have a peaceful crowd of protesters. They're protesting against the ICE Gestapo, like anywhere else. And most of them, by that point, it was like 10 p.m., they had already dispersed. It was a very sparse crowd, a very thin crowd. There wasn't a lot of people there. Then there's a cameraman that's on the sidelines, and he's motioning to them like this, as you see the Gestapo rolling forward, like this. I don't know what that means. I don't know not much about hand signals or military terminology or anything of that sort, but to me this felt like a very clear message as don't engage. They backed up the box truck at the gates, started firing shots. They hit a protester, and apparently from the images I've seen afterwards, they did manage to get some bullets through the actual box truck itself. But it seems like the person inside was not mortally wounded. I don't know where the investigation is going to go from here, and we're going to pick up on that once we actually find out more information. But just be really skeptical of everything you hear because there seems to be a lot of inconsistencies with this story. So if you like what you're hearing tonight, please remember to like, subscribe, and down here we have an email address, thegricereport@gmail.com. Again, that's thegricereport@gmail.com. Please send us any tips, story requests, any leads that you might have, in any video that you have with interactions with the ICE Gestapo, with CBP Gestapo, with anybody that you're interacting with and coming face to face with. We are always happy to put those stories out there. And remember, hit that like button, that subscribe button, and hit that bell because we release new content every night at 8 p.m. So please make sure to be tuning in because we appreciate you. Over 200 followers now, and it really means a lot to us. So let's continue. So little Mad King wannabe Donald Trump threw a hissy fit overnight and was like, I don't want to be friends with Canada anymore. Canada was mean to me. So the little punk ass decided to cut relations with Canada essentially over an advertisement that they were running. Well, what did the advertisement say? Okay, it was Ronald Reagan talking about how tariffs sound good, but really all they do is hurt the American people. Yeah, he really said this, and the speech is real, and Donald Trump didn't like that Ronald Reagan's words were being thrown back at him, so he's like, nah, we're not doing any more trade deals. No, all done. Like a child, like a petulant, demented child, because that's what Donald Trump is. And now, just to give you a little bit more of an example about what a petulant child he really is, he's having his Secretary of War on America and the rest of the world, Pete Kegsbreath, actually ordering a battle fleet to Venezuela. I'm not making this up. The USS Gerald R. Ford is going to be sent from where they're deployed now, which I believe is the Mediterranean, to the waters off of Venezuela. Why? your guess is as good as mine, but my guess is there's some kind of natural resource in that country they want. So they're going to go after it. They're trying to expand their territory. Donald Trump is building an empire. And we know that all empires must fall. And last but not least, some very good news for once. You've heard his name on my show. You know him. You hate him. We laugh at him. It's a good time until he does some horrible stuff. Bloviating Greg Bovino, that bovine swine, is ordered now to go before a judge on Monday to testify against his violation of Sarah Ellis's TRO on the abuse of force against protesters in the press. There's video of him from Little Village in Chicago yesterday shooting a crowd of people with tear gas and being hyper aggressive. Because hyper masculine energy just means small everything else. He's got to be compensating for something with this behavior. I don't know what it could be, but I don't know. You tell me. I can't wait to see him get reamed by a judge. Judge Sarah Ellis, right now, you're like a national heroine. Like, you're a treasure to us right now for what you're doing to him. He needs to answer for his crimes because they think they're above the law. No one is above the law. And certainly not Greg Bloviating Bovine Bovino. Your day in court is coming soon, buddy. And Mike Johnson, happy Mike, sad Mike, angry Mike, juggling clown Mike on a unicycle, wearing a top hat, whatever Mike Johnson you are today, it's a great day to swear in Alameda and release the Epstein files. Because we all know that the Epstein files are probably hidden under the Epstein ballroom. Because he's not going to escape this. He will never live it down, and neither will any of you. And once this is all done, you're all going on trial for your crimes as well. Because guess what? You don't have immunity. Why don't you stop and think about that a second? You don't have immunity. We could persecute you and prosecute you. We will come after you with the legal swiftness of the justice system when it's restored to its natural glory. America is a beautiful idea, a beautiful concept. And its people sometimes forget that it was built on a living document. The Constitution is a living document meant to be changed and updated and altered to reflect the situations of our time. Now would be a good time to vote those suckers out, bring in a blue wave, and start getting some amendments rolling. Let the people start voting again. Let the people start bringing democracy back to America. And let's figure out how we can rebuild the system in such a way that this never happens again. Because there will never be any kings for America. Not while I'm alive, and not while this whole generation that's alive right now is alive. Because we're going to fight until the bitter end. My name is David Harrison Grice. Thank you for joining the Resistance, and have a great night.